Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA?
Native 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. So there's an interesting article from a PC Gamer, and it's about how the name of the article is called "How Modders Are Removing Enemies from Games to Create Stress-Free Experiences." This is from Sam Greer. I don't like it because it kind of ruins what the creators wanted you to experience
In the game, yeah.
And not only that, did the creators want you to do that?
No, of course
Shouldn't
not.
you be doing that? No, because that's not what they intended the game to be about.
There's certain games that are really hard to play.
Yes.
And certain games I'll never be able to beat. I'll never be able to beat Mike Tyson in Punch Out.
That's
It
really
will never
fun.
it will never happen to me.
Very hard.
They should mod the game, make it, where I'm not so stressed out. But that's part of the game. Getting stressed out, getting scared.
Yes.
Because they're talking about alien isolation, and they remove the alien. Then what the hell's the point?
Then you just walk around a spooky alien.
Yeah, but there's no enemy, though.
Yeah.
Then what's the point?
You get to the end of the base.
Yeah, walk around.
Well, see, the thing is, I understand if they want to make this for people that have hard time playing games, I can kind of see that point, but it shouldn't be like a actual market.
Why not, instead of doing that and monitors doing that, why don't they work with the creators saying, hey, can you make two different versions for people that maybe it's too stressful for them? Why don't you do it that way instead of just modding it yourself without the creators? 'Cause I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's not, they didn't intend it to be like
Is
that.
this the video game equivalent of they don't keep scoring a T-ball game and everyone wins?
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Because I understand, like, if you are one of those kids that have really stressful times and you
Don't-
go to school and everyone's like, oh, I beat that game. The game was so easy, and then you're kind of like, oh.
Get good, scrub.
And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, because nowadays most newer games that are easier than they are. Go and play old school games. Go and play old NES games.
Play
that were hard.
Castlevania.
Yeah, those are just hard, and you have to just beat it with your own wits and what you got, and that's what it is.
Well,
you might die 100 times, but that's how it goes.
Speaking of Castlevania, Bloodstain actually reminds me of this because there is a veteran mode and then there's the casual mode where a lot of bad guys drop health energy for you. You don't fall back when you get hit. So basically, I think
It's an easy mode.
Yeah, people are making easier modes for games now.
But to completely remove the enemy altogether.
Yeah, at that point, it's just a platform.
Some people call this video game journalist mode, so they can beat the game.
Oh,
Suck at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Remember in
literally play
Cuphead,
games.
you couldn't jump over the pillar.
I did that the first
forever.
time I did it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But this is like from the article, and they're talking to the guy who's, I guess, doing this. He says, they're talking about the alien isolation game. In addition to being very jarring, it prevented the alien from performing scripted events, which I found both insufferable and experience destroying. Given all this, I decided to make my own mod, which would have the alien act normal, except for it would ignore Amanda. In a way, I could explore the station in a far more enjoyable fashion. But that's not the point of the game. It's for you to have this jaunt around a space station. It's meant to be, you're hiding from an alien. That was the experience the creators made. If you don't like it, make your own damn game where it's happy, fun picnic time and no one gets hurt and there's no enemies. And
And there are games like that.
yeah, you
Yeah.
Just do that.
play Minecraft on casual mode.
Yeah.
It's like the article I read one time way back in the past where some guy modded his Legend of Zelda on the Super Nintendo, and instead of making it a boy, he made it a girl for his daughter. So that, like, oh, you're playing,
It's you.
it's you. But see, there's a difference when you do something like that, because that didn't actually change the game. It
But
just
did he
made-
remove all the enemies from the game so his daughter can just beat it?
Exactly. He made the game where you can still enjoy it, but you're just going to say instead of he, it's like she.
Like we're saying earlier, there's certain games I'll never be able to play and beat, like Dark Souls. But I don't want to.
They
It's too
talk.
hard.
That's funny. That's funny. They
Yeah.
talk about that here, where they're doing one where they move the enemies from Dark Souls, so you can just kind of walk around and explore things.
That's
You know what?
stupid.
But you know what's funny with younger generation of kids?
what they
That's
wanna do.
popular. That's very
Hey,
popular.
you want to mod Dark Souls? Fix the controls. That would make it
Yeah,
easier.
again, my personal experience with the Dark Souls franchise is if the controllers were tight and responsive, the game would be a million times easier.
Yes.
That's just my opinion. Whatever, hate me for it, whatever it is. But that's another game I'll never beat, and that's fine. I don't have to beat every single game.
And not only that,
Exactly.
guys, you don't realize when you do a really hard part in a game and you do beat it, the satisfaction you have
Yes.
Oh, man.
is unparalleled. Like when we did it in
the
Skolas.
original Destiny fighting Skolas. When they changed them where you couldn't just melt them right away, for Destiny things where you couldn't just beat them down real fast,
Yeah.
it was me and 15 PCA and our other brother. We we tried it. It took us all night. What was it, like 8-9 hours?
Yeah.
I consider myself not a bad video game player, but it took us a long time because everyone had to do their part. And when we did it, it is top 3 video game memories in my life.
Yeah.
Defeating Skolas and doing it without cheesing them.
And we did it when we were at level 35. And for people that play Destiny, you realize that's really hard.
It's tough. There's Bill. I can beat it with the DDR drums and stupid on the dance pad.
Yeah.
I'll never be that good. But it was an experience, and I'm like, wow, that's always going to be with me. I wish I would have modded it to where it was super easy and you didn't even fight me. No.
No,
Yeah.
that would took away from it.
And that's the whole point of being, it's hard to say, a gamer. I mean, if you really want to see the game and see it end, go on YouTube, look it up, and if you
Yeah.
want to watch
Yeah.
it that way, you know?
Watch a walkthrough and just pretend you hold the controller in your hand.
Exactly.
And just pretend at that point.
Yeah, I know. Right? What's the
and,
difference?
and I feel bad for kids that can't do it.
Too bad.
But you, like you said, it's a thing where you have to learn. It's
Get
like
better.
It's like when I remember I spent forever trying to beat Castlevania, but when I finally beat it and you see the castle crumble, you just feel like you're the man, you're the boss.
Yeah, that is true. But another thing too, and then I can also even relate to something a little bit more recently for me personally. I never played the Fallout games. I wanted to get into it because Fallout 76 now multiplayer, so I might want to get into it. I played it, and early on I was having a hard time. But as I gained levels and I started to realize the mechanics of the game, I got better at it. But it took me about 6-7 hours of playing the game to get used to it because I'm not used to that kind of RPG.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You get better.
Yeah.
But I know, and people bring up, oh, what about people with disabilities? People with, like, severe
Yeah,
autism, and they want to play
Well,
the
there are
games.
certain games for them.
But they want to play the games that everyone else is playing. They want to play the games that's popular with the kids at school. And that's where it kind of breaks my heart because you're in life, you're not supposed to experience everything. Certain things aren't for you.
Yeah.
And if the experience of this game, maybe there's a game that's like this and someone wants to make an easy version, do that. But don't take the creator's vision, their world, and just
I
kind
don't
of
like
destroy
that.
it.
I'm on the
Yeah.
side of the creators on this one.
I know there's mods and people do cool stuff. Like, people have done some really cool mods for, again, like you said, Fallout, make their own storylines and everything.
Skyrim.
Skyrim has really cool mods where people fix certain things. But to remove all the enemies and change the whole experience of the game, not for the better, but for like, oh, I just want to explore and not...
Yeah.
I don't know, walk around your house. I don't know what to say.
Well, because it's meant for like the people that want to have the story. But if, like I said, if you are one of those people, watch a walkthrough. Watch someone
but
play
even
it.
with people that have physical handicaps, Microsoft took care of that with the new controller.
Yeah,
So-
there's some. They did some trailers where they're showing off how the controller can be used. That adaptive controller, super cool. But for a lot of those people, they go, no, I don't want an easy version of the game. I want the version that everyone else has because I can be just as good as them.
Exactly.
Well, it is kind of condescending to assume that.
Yeah.
they
Oh,
want
you
to.
need this version. Oh, here's
Yeah.
the special version.
Yeah.
Screw that,
Yeah,
man.
let me try the real version, and then I get test your limits.
Another thing for me is personal achievements of learning how to adapt and play a hard game. I beat the last 2 Ninja Gaiden games, the one, the 360, they were amazing.
Yeah,
They're
David
fucking
Black and-
hard. And they're
But
hard.
you got to learn
Yeah.
the timing, the movement, and that's part of the what makes games fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the Itagaki Ninja Gaiden because the one without him is terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, there's so if it was someone again with like a special needs type person, okay, I'm a little more lenient. But if you're an adult male person who's into games and you got to get good, male female doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got to get good.
Yeah.
It's like the same argument thing comes to my mind when I watch the new Resident Evil 2 remake coming out. They're going to change some things. So if you want to beat this game, you're going to have to learn its new mechanics.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn everything.
Because when it comes to the point, when are we going to start doing that when you play against other people? When's that going to start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if multiplayer? Well, there's a special version where they'll it's because they want it to be a little more stress free. Stress is part of the game. It
Yeah.
makes it fun.
Well, and
Exactly.
also and also multiplayer games, everyone knows this. When you first get the game, everyone starts out at a basic kind of similar level, but then eventually after like a year, only the hardcore play. You can't jump into a multiplayer game after a year.
Jump into Skullgirls on Steam right now, and you'll get into fights where you never touch the ground. You're being juggled so much.
Exactly.
And I just walked away from the game. I couldn't get good enough.
Yeah,
But guess
that's
what?
fine.
That's fine. I couldn't get
Yes.
good enough.
There's going to be there are limits. Even when you're say good at a game, then you're going to have to get to the point of where like you want to make this like
Your job.
your job.
But there's another point to it, dude. Now you see stressful sometimes, but it's fun because it's adrenaline rush. You're like, yeah, we got to do this. Like when we're playing friggin' Overwatch and we're in the dark zone. I mean a Division. You're like, oh
It's
my
stressful.
goodness, it's stressful, but it's fun too. Like, come on, get the back, let's go, let's go.
And when you succeed, isn't it so
Yeah.
much more rewarding?
Yes,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
And then people brought up too, like, well, back in the day, it used to be like God mode codes, Infinity Lies, Infinity Energy,
yeah.
which is kind of the same thing. The enemies can't hurt you. But yeah, those are like fun to mess around. But I kind of like to play the game as it was intended. Has the vision that those creators put together for me to
But
experience.
it's different to put a code into something and change it and actually mod it. There's two different things.
Yeah, and also when the creators put that code in there, that was meant for fun.
Yeah.
That was meant as like, oh hey, if you figure it out,
Administrator mode. Oh, okay, administrator mode. Or
Yeah,
the
you
mod.
type
So
in
just a
infinite
type.
health.
That way you're just trying to figure out things in the game, not
Yeah.
oh, let's change the game.
So I am more against this than I am for it. I think there might be some
games
special cases, but maybe games aren't meant for you.
But
And
I
it-
think personally most games are easier now, not harder.
Yeah, they said
There's
that-
only a few exceptions to that.
Yeah, like they brought up Dark Souls and the Alien Isolation because when you're hiding and that alien's walking around the room, it is stressful. It's scary.
Scary.
And sometimes it catches you, sometimes it doesn't. It's just the way
Just
it
don't
is.
play the game.
Yeah, if it's too
Sorry.
stressful, don't play it.
Yeah.
That's
And-
fine.
And like you said, you can always test it out by seeing other people play it.
Yeah,
And-
watch again. There is a let's play of every game there ever was since forever now.
And that's another thing too. You can watch someone play a game and just remember how to do the part.
yeah, you can watch walkthroughs and tips and
Exactly.
tricks
You
and
sit there and if you're that bad at the game,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can sit there.
let's see how scary a game would be like Condemned if you took out the bad guys. No, you have to have.
Yeah,
the
you
bad
mean
guys
you
in
walk
there.
around a creepy mall would be
Yeah.
kind of scary.
but there's no enemies.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. It'd be like same thing with Resident Evil. It'd be like going through the mansion, but you know nothing's gonna get you. So you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I can just walk through this place.
So yeah, I thought it was like an interesting discussion because I can kind of see it both ways of it. But if I had only had to pick one way, I'd be against it.
Yeah, I'm against.
Yeah.
It.
Again, people are just making, they're making all the jokes and the memes about it because it is a sense of accomplishment when you get good at a game. I know it's not the same thing as, doing something in the real world, but it's still something cool that you did.
Yes.
What I don't like about it because kind of the attitude and culture that's happening in all our
Dumb
mediums.
everything down.
Dumb everything down, but also trying to assist people. Like it was like that stupid thing with the bullying thing. It's kind of that.
Yeah.
Kind of, coming from that place. Oh, we got to help you
Protect
because they're
you.
bullying. Protect. No, it's stupid. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you also going to ever get good at something unless you got to challenge yourself?
Yes.
Exactly. You got.
I like fighting strong enemies.
Yes, or even racing games.
Yeah.
You put the difficulty
Yeah.
higher and higher, and more realistic, and you're like, oh shoot.
If I play it, I'm happy being a C minus D plus Street Fighter player online. I'm fine with that. I don't need to
Yeah,
get.
I'm never
going
going to get to triple S rank or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
And,
fine.
and if you did, would you feel accomplished if it was like, oh, I put it on easy mode?
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like,
I
I'm
would.
only fighting weaker people.
I would.
And another thing to do that on purpose is bad too, but that's another.
Yeah, that's another-
that's another problem with
Yeah.
video games.
But yeah, it's again, everyone in the comments, do you agree with these kinds of ideas of modding games and remove stuff? Just say so in the comments, and we'll have a discussion on that because
Yeah.
I think it's interesting enough to see different multifaceted.
If the creator gives it its blessing for that particular game, that helps a lot for me.
Yes, that's
and then at
right.
least they're saying, okay, fine, but don't do it just to do it. It's like.
But that's the whole point of a mod.
Yeah.
So I could see different versions of all that. That is a much deeper discussion. It can go into like all kinds of
first
mods in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I like when it's encouraged, like when they did with the Doom mods and
Yeah.
all that back in the day.
Well, and also it brings up the whole topic of how people used to use ROMs, and you can like save anywhere in the game. And
Yeah.
people think like, well, is that
That's
right?
cheating.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
There's certain Nintendo games I wouldn't be able to beat without it.
Yeah, because you can save it right before a hard part, so you can be like, I can play this part over.
Or
and
the
over
fact
again.
it's in the series, like Mega Man Legacy 1, but not Part 2. Well, okay, thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
That's
Thank you
still
for taking out
cheating.
the later ones, tag.
Yeah, because again, that's the good scrub part of it. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Mega Man 1 is so hard. But let's continue the discussion in the comments. I think it's a pretty cool topic to keep it going. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.